Hi, this is the Queen Phoenix with another project. This is a face scrubby, puff stitch face scrubby with a holder for your fingers. This will take you about 5 to 7 minutes to make. So it's 10 single crochets in the middle, followed by 10 puff stitches, followed by a bit more puff stitches and a row of single crochet. Very simple and easy to make. You will need 100% cotton yarn because you're going to put this on your face. Due to the fact that this is extremely thin yarn, I decided to double it and use it. And I increased the size of my crochet hook, and I have a pair of scissors. So I'm just going to tie a knot to join both threads. Pardon me. So I use the yarn from the inside and the yarn from the outside at the same time. And you will create a magic knot and a single crochet to hold this magic ring. This does not count as an actual stitch. Now you will make 10 single crochets into your magic ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just pull it a bit tighter there. 9, 10. That's the 10th one going in. Pull it tight. And you will slip stitch into the very first stitch that you made. Not the chain one, the actual stitch. Immediately, chain 2. So that's just me counting that I actually have 10. Right. Now I'm going to use a smaller hook. I want to pull the tail into the second row because I don't want to work this tail at the end of the project. I just rather work it in right now. So I'm just going to cut that cut there where I made the knot, and I'm going to move this tail into the second row so I can just work it in one time and now it's completely done. Now for the puff stitches, the very first puff stitch, we already got a 2 chain, so that's going to count as part of the puff stitch. So it's yarn over, you go in to your stitch, pull up a loop, repeat that twice more. So you would have gone in there 3 times and pulled up a loop. Then just pull through all loops and chain 2. Now for the next puff stitch, it's 4 times you're going to have to pull up a loop. So it's once, second, third, fourth. And you're going to do this, repeat that puff stitch throughout. Chain 2, and in the single crochet you make a puff stitch. And you will continue doing this 2 chain and a puff stitch, 1 puff stitch in each stitch until you get to the end. Right across, right around, and you will have a total of 10 puff stitches. Now we're at the end. You have made your chain 2, and you're going to go in and slip stitch into the top of that puff stitch, and you're going to slip stitch into the middle of your chain 2 space and chain 2, and you're going to do the exact same puff stitch where you pull up 3 as you did for the previous row. So that's 1 puff stitch made. In the next stitch you're going to make 2 puff stitches, because this is now where you do your increase. So it's 2 puff stitches, and you chain 2, and then it's a single puff stitch. So your next stitch will be 2 puff stitches, and the one after that will be 1 puff stitch, and you will continue that right around. I'm sure you can see here I've got 1 puff stitch, 2 puff stitches, 1, 2, 1, 2, and you're working these puff stitches in the 2 chain spaces. For the last row, join again in the top of your puff stitch, and now you're going to single crochet on the top of that puff stitch, and then you're going to put 2 single crochets in the chain 2 space, a single crochet on top of that puff stitch, and you're going to continue this 2 in the 2 chain space. It's 2 single crochets on every puff stitch. It's a single crochet. At this stage, when you make your first single crochet, please put in a stitch marker if you cannot see that stitch, just so you know where the ending, well, where the beginning of that row is. So I'm at the end of this row, and it's again a slip stitch into your very first stitch that you made. Now, only work in the back 4 loops to do the back part of this project, only on this row. So for this row, sorry about that, it's supposed to be back loops. Let me just correct that. You're going to make a single crochet only in the back loops, but only for this row and only over the first 4 stitches. So that's 1. We got the second one, the third one, and the 4th one. And you're going to turn your work. Now you're going to work in both. And you're going to do the exact same 4 single crochets and turn your work. Single crochet again, next 3 more, and that's it. I did this for about 14 rounds, and when you measure from the one side to the next side, you must be able to have it reach the other side. I'm just going to single crochet 1 chain. I'm just going to make 1 crochet, leave a long enough tail. Now, the one side is the right side and the one side is the back side. The back section, or the wrong side, is the side that has the tail hanging out of it. Right. So that is the section that you need to darn in. So you can use a darning needle, you can use a crocheting needle to join both sides, to join this little strap to the face scrubby. Just line it up nicely. Make sure you actually have it where you want it to be exactly in half. And I'm just going to go through those 4 stitches and secure it nicely. You can make the scrubby in any color except the yarn must be cotton. It's less abrasive on the skin and can be washed and reused multiple times. I'm just going back one more time, and this is basically it. All nicely done. You'll work that tail piece in, you will cut that yarn, but there it is. Your own little puff stitch scrubby, completely reusable. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next video.